Queensland Premier Rugby is back for its most eagerly awaited season in history. Romanian international Luke Samoa has arrived at the nest with a host of young talent under his wing. There's potential at Chipseywood. Can they recapture the glory days of old? East have got the flair, the firepower and the ferocity. This man, Seru Uru, will haunt the dreams of club.
Pain in the backside here for the Tigers as they swing it out. To get a few extra metres and kills. Finds the spice out wide and it's try time there.
Head coach Carl Marshall is back at Sylvan Road and he's the top dog at the kennel. The Doggies missed finals by just 1 point last year and they're here to play. Don't look away from this young team. They can make something from nothing.
Then one off the ruck. Carter Gordon has sniffed it. The Chiefs defender and Carter Gordon.
It's been a tough few years for the Eagles, but don't you dare tell Chapo that they're not in the fight.
Family members, here we go now. Chapman splits it wide open, goes himself and gets the try. Nick Chapman, take a bow.
It's a new season, and the men from Hugh Courtney Oval have a point to prove. With Cody Blackhurst up front, the Eagles are ready to soar.
Back is Tuapo goes through, Tuapo gets the try. 22 years, 22 long years. Chiefs have won the 2018 Hospital Challenge Cup.
The Gallopers have been in destructive form in recent years, and boy, do the glue factory get stuck in. Sunnybank are out to restore some pride and will be breathing fire in 2020. With Tom Lucas at the wheel, good luck keeping up once these guys get on a roll. They need no introduction. Just 5 points kept Brothers from the Cup last year and don't believe that they've put it behind them. Matho will have the Brethren firing in 2020.
Go straight through and he finds Luke. Luke gets it back infield and that's a ripper of a pass from the youngster.
The Bull Sharks are circling. There'll be no easy trips down the M1 if Dan Boardman has anything to do with it.
Side to go down this near touchline. Match down back infield. Dan Boardman goes through untouched. Try time. In at the death here over the Dragons. Strikes it. Switch third. Burying the Dragons.
Arguably the team of the decade. This cup has spent more time at stud to heavy than any other club.
Wide Cairns gets smacked by Teams.
Go back infield, finds Dalgleish, Cliffy Sedu.
Hino won't let these young students give it up without a fight.
Working towards the post. Tay McDermott goes straight through. McDermott swings it back to Campbell and he bellows it.
The Hospital Challenge Cup is club rugby at its best, and it starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the home of Queensland Rugby, Ballymore Stadium, for the 2020 All Sports Physiotherapy Hospital Challenge Cup minor semi-final. Bond up against Jeeps. It is going to be a sensational afternoon. Beautiful weather out here. I'm Martin Lippier. Joining me for all of the commentary action this afternoon is the Gallopers' very own Tom Christie, and all the way up the M1, Mr. Jordan Hughes. Gentlemen, welcome.
G'day, Marty. How you going?
Great to be here, Marty.
Very good, gents. And we'll start off by talking about what's happened this season coming into finals. It's been a very short, sharp season. But it all came to a head very quickly, and I think you'd be very happy, Mr. Christie, with how last week went. It would have been heart in your mouth kind of stuff watching those two games play out. See the Gallopers manage to just creep their way in.
Very much so. It was a nervous wait, not only having one result potentially going against us. We are obviously scraped in by the skin of our teeth, so the boys are really excited the opportunity to play finals footy yet again.
And Jordan Bond, maiden finals berth. It's probably the first time they've ever had to drive up and play at Ballymore ever on the Sunday for Prem grade. That's a pretty special time for you guys.
Mate, huge year for the boys. So obviously last week had to beat University, and we just stood up and got the job done. So first time since the Breakers days, we're back up here. So looking forward to it.
And we talk about the matchup yesterday between East and UQ. It was a grueling match. UQ secure the win. East will be playing the winner of this match today. Probably not going to ask you the obvious question, who do you think is going to win? But because you're both firmly in a camp each. But what do you think are going to be the major points for today's game?
Look, for me, it's the Jeep Scrum, definitely, Marty. It's been the benchmark of the attack and getting us out of sticky situations, not only this year but throughout the last couple of seasons. And particularly the success that they had against Bond 2 weeks ago at set-piece time, they're looking to really assert themselves in that stage of the game.
Jordan, you can't let him just get all the action in here, talking up his own side. You've got a rebuttal here, mate.
Well, as Tommy said with the scrum, if we can measure that today, I think the unstructured play and our backline can get it done. I'd argue we had the best backline in the comp, so the boys can work their magic. We're a chance, I think.
Well, ahead of the weekend, the QRU caught up with Bonds Dylan Rowe and Michael Richards from Jeeps to see how they were thinking this weekend was going to play out.
When we found out the Jeeps were in, it was almost like... it was almost an ideal result for us. We got to make up for that loss a couple of weeks ago where we thought that we probably just didn't get out of the driveway. We were kind of stuck in second gear for most of the game. We showed glimpses, to try and come back in that game, but just wasn't to be in the end. Jeeps were too good on that day. Like you said, we've got our reinforcements now and, a couple of weeks to let that loss sting just enough that we're hungry enough to get the win now. Mate, it's the most teams we've ever had in finals in one hit. It's our first year having a women's team, and they've been awesome all year. The Colts have been getting some really, really great wins, really impressive wins. As a club, the goal is still 3 from 3 premierships, and hopefully we can get there.
We obviously count ourselves pretty lucky to sneak in. It's just about making the most of it now. So, got an opportunity, got to take that opportunity, and like I say, just make the most of that. It's been a bit of a up and down season, I guess. We just struggled for consistency, I think. That was probably the biggest thing. Obviously, new combinations, trying to nail those down, they don't come together. And in a shortened season, it probably just made it a little bit difficult to get that consistency. But I feel like we built on that in our last game against Bond. Was probably one of our best performances in terms of nailing down each part of our game that we sort of wanted to perfect. So we know we're not perfect at the moment. We've still got a way to go, which is exciting because probably means we've got still some of our best footy in front of us.
We're going to start by looking at this starting side for Bond. Take it away.
Up front we've got Egan Siggs alongside Zane Nongor, who returns from the Reds, with Nick Turner. In the second row we have Angus Blythe and Devon Henson. The back row led by Jake Upfield, Dylan Rowe and Declan Dinian. In the halves, we have Liam Dillon and Mitchell Third, with the centres Captain Dan Boardman and Ryan Menzies, and the back three Joey Fiddock, Ryan Stowers and Maxwell Dowd.
And Tom, the Gallopers, they're back out here, third consecutive year, finals rugby for them. Let's run it through the 1 to 15.
Yeah, absolutely. We welcome back Jack Straker for the first time in the Jeeps jersey since 2014. He's partnered by Miley Naguamo, Fred Burke, St George Queensland Red debut season player Twainer Tualima is partnering Dan Gorman in the second row. Back row's vitally important, led by Michael Richards there. In the halves, Scotty Maualua, AJ Alatimu, both capped at Samoa level. On the wings, we've got Jono Kent, Josh Collins. The big get for Jeeps for mine is Junior Rossalia in the 12 jersey and Bryce Hegarty from St George Queensland Reds, rounding out the team at 15.
Wonderful afternoon for rugby. It's do or die for both of these sides. The winner will go and play East next week. The loser, they'll be watching the live stream. And just have to imagine what could have been. And out in the middle today, refereeing, it is none other than one of Queensland Premier Rugby's own, Damon Murphy, which is a wonderful addition. We had Nick Berry yesterday, so we're spoilt for choices up here.
Absolutely. No, it's great to see the quality of referees that we've got here. We've got Rowan Hoffman sitting a couple of metres down from him, so we have to speak well of him.
And we are away. Hospital Challenge Cup All Sports Physio. Minor semi-final. Jeeps taking on Bond here at Ballymore. And we're going to be jumping into that set piece right away here, Tom.
Yeah, a bit of an unorthodox start. They're kicking right down the middle and picking up Mitch Thirds. Kicked it roughly 40 metres away. This is a really good opportunity for Miley Naguamo with his line-out throwing. He's got an 82% win rate. And certainly Jeeps will look to attack off the back of this.
Gusty afternoon winds coming in from the northeast. The eastern stand displacing it. Quickly up the top, taken clean by the Gallopers. Just outside the 22. Namo feeds it through. Good run there from Vio. Malu now jumping into half. There's the captain, Michael Richards. Met pretty hard. First penalty go towards the Gallopers.
Yeah, a bit of a sloppy start there by Jeeps at the line-out. Twaina Tuolima hitting the ground rather than Scotty there. The boys got into a bit of shape there, and thankfully they've got a penalty here to get a bit more field position.
So second line-out coming up in as many minutes. Set piece has been a key feature for the Gallopers over the last 4 or 5 years. Struck quite amount of fear into a lot of opponents, actually.
Stay there.
Namo floats it out the back. Good take from Tuolima Malalua. Altimu, great pass into the back channel. He swoops back around. Now it's down to Hegarty. Hegarty inside ball. Strong run there from Vio. There is Damalo Kawiatha. They're holding him up. Angus Blythe got his hands on him, the big Queensland Red second rower. Short ball to Tuolima. On the side, it is Damalo. Malua looks for his options. Namo is there, but they read him like a book. Looking to try and get that ball off him, but they're unsuccessful. Vio. He's got Straker on the hip. Straker back from a 5-year stint in New Zealand. Supporting the Reds this year. Tuolima picks and goes Tuolima. Just short, says Murphy. Digging in deep, they're going to spread it across the line. Good hands from the Gallopers. Hegarty sees space. Hegarty passes it over the top. John O'Kent, he's athletic. But that was just, I think, a bit of a rough pass from Heggers.
Yeah, look, great continuity there by Jeeps, but what was equally impressive was the Bond defence there, not giving an inch away on their own line.
A couple of good shots there from Devin Henson, the South African import over the top.
Go play down.
I want to see the replay here. Tommy?
Yeah, look, probably went a little bit too wide initially. Would have liked to probably see them play towards the post and then look to go next phase. But in saying that, the opportunity was there. It's they're in the right position. It's not great that they've got a scrum now, and the hooker, Nick Turner's what it looks like to be nursing a shoulder injury.
Well, Jordan, Nick Turner, club captain for Bond, I believe, as well. And he's got a pretty good win rate on the line. That's 79% this year for him in the set piece.
Of course, and he's played over 160 games for Bond. It's his first finals appearance. So exciting day for the club man.
Jeez, that's a whopping average. 1 out of 160.
So boys, marks here.
You think he was probably the most amped up out of anyone down at Coomera?
He's fired up. He was there in the Breakers day, so he's been through the transition and he's here ready to go.
Line out not terribly clean, and it will be knocked on by Bond. So first scrum of the match right on Bond's doorstep.
Yeah, just see Nick Turner in the background there. He's not in a good place at the moment, unfortunately, and probably wasn't a great thing, him having to throw a line out, and subsequently that's the result.
He's down in back play and looks like a bit of a stinger on the shoulder.
Yeah.
You can tell by the throw, bit of a wobbly one.
It was wrong and nearly.
Two loose now.
Well, as big as Angus Blythe, it's pretty hard to miss him.
Yeah.
Wow, this could be a big one here if he can't get on top of that shoulder. Although he's backing down for the first time. Siggs and a very young Australian schoolboy player, Zane Nongo, fresh out of the Southport School.
Straight out of the bubble this year with the Reds. Good to see him back in the mix. Of course, this is our big test day, scrum time, so we'll see how we go.
Jeeps will fancy themselves here.
Bind! Set!
Malua throws in at the feet. Straker, Damo and Berg. Bond getting a bit of a push on. It'll be a hard reset here. And you talked about in the pre-game, Jordan, a big in for Devon Henson in the second row. When you add Angus Blythe to that, that's a pretty mean little engine you got packing in behind.
Serious power coming out of those two, so that'll help the boys up front. Bit of extra momentum.
I'm really disappointed that Blythe doesn't have Bond shaved into his head. Thought he would have just kept the trend going because the Reds looks like it's finally grown out, so he had a fresh wicket there to maybe cut something in for us.
He still had the DNS coming out on Thursday night.
Crouch!
Gowdy tends you, how he'll take the line.
Bind! Set!
Malua throws it in once more. Great push from Bond. This is huge on their maiden finals berth. And that is a huge shift in momentum.
You can see the boys coming in, they're fired up. They've been working the scrum all week. They knew it was going to be the test, and they've started the right way today.
Yeah, great start by Bond there. Nick Turner's shoulder injury wasn't as bad as first thought, obviously.
Experience, my friend, experience.
160 games, mate.
Yeah, a few scrums in those, I'm sure.
Brilliant afternoon here. Weather couldn't be nicer, and first time ever we've had QPR finals in the depths of spring.
Yeah, look, it's going to be interesting as the game goes on and the ball's in play for a period of time. The sweat on the ball, it's probably a constraint that we don't have during the colder months of the year. Particularly in,
well, the wind's completely opposite too, because we're used to having wind kind of coming from behind the western stand and the booming southerlies, and now we've got it the opposite way.
Yeah, the echo winds.
Quick line out from Bond. They've sent it up in the middle of the field. Strong run there from the centres. The penalty going against Bond this time.
12 goal holding.
Ryan Menzies, former Queensland Sevens. And this is a really important thing we'll throw to you, Tommy. The importance of points in finals compared to your regular season. It takes another level when you get into this stadium, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, it does definitely. Scoreboard pressures is something that is really important to continue to build throughout the game. I think you'll probably see them in this type of format look to probably take the 3 when they're more on offer rather than trying to score the 4 tries, because as we know during the season there's the 4-try bonus point that comes into play. All you need to do here is win. So look, I'd be expecting Jeeps to take the points when they're on offer, and likewise for Bond. Interesting that AJ's kicking ahead of Bryce, who's kicked for the Reds over the last couple of years as well.
AJ's 82% for the season, and we can probably add a little bit more on there. First points going to the Gallopers in the lead, 3-0 over Bond here. The All Sport Physio Hospital Challenge Cup minor semi-final. Momentum in favour of the Gallopers. They'll get the points and the reset, and they'll bring it back to halfway. Another one of Jeep's favourite sons there, Jono Kent.
Yeah, he's quite a character, Jono. He's like a light switch, switches on and off, and he's definitely on today.
Vio's underneath that one, takes it, charges up. Vio, first in the competition for carries, 155, second for offloads on 23. That kick was pretty special.
They're talking about that wind, Marty. It's not that wind that he's back there, is it?
Giddy up.
Another big throw here for the Bond side, right in their own 10-metre line. It's Jeeps controlling field position early.
Dan Gorman there, probably the oldest stalwart in this side, I'd say.
Yeah, or nearly close to Queensland Premier Rugby.
Goes long, and Mal Lewis scoops it up out the back. Vio, centre of the field, goes right over the top of them, falls just short. On the left, going through, looking for it was Rossilia.
Play! Short play! There's no try anymore.
They're just short, looking for the pick and drive option.
Post is gone.
Namalo dives through. Bit of a scene, probably from, I dare say, the 1970s. No pads on the post.
Or even earlier.
That's right.
I heard Damien Murphy said that the post isn't in play anymore if you put the ball up against it for scoring a try. Junior was adamant he got it on the post, and Damon just notified him that it's not in play anymore.
I'm not sure who ripped it off, but it's it's an old school spin on new school rules, isn't it? Just taking the post off, taking the pad away.
I wasn't aware of it. See Junior there appealing at the bottom of the rack.
Oh, Dan Corman.
Let's go, lads. Time on.
So another scrum here for the Gallopers in front. Pressure's building, but Jordan Bond, that last scrum was pretty special.
Certainly back him in here, centre field. It's a good opportunity for GPS.
Elbow and hide up for me.
Hopefully Blythe and Non-Gore that can stand up here and show their experience.
I think there's a bit of chat in there between Blythe and Strakes on that far side of the scrum.
Seconds. You're our eyes, LD, you're our eyes.
Crouch!
My ball, right.
Bind!
Another big match-up between Dylan and Malalua, but this one will get pulled up once more, and they're going to hit the reset button again.
Yeah, the Jeep set up at the moment. They've got Bryce Heavy right behind the scrum with Josh Collins with about a 40-metre blind. So fair chance I reckon they might go an 8-9 here and try and get Josh Collins one-on-one.
It's been a real fail. It's been foolproof, that one. Josh Collins on the outside this year. He is just give him more ball.
Absolutely.
Should just be the motto.
Absolutely.
Bind! Set!
Malalua throws it in once again. Scrum not moving too much. Malalua's having to rake it out with his foot. Goes to the left-hand side. Hegarty floats one out wide. Jono Kent, room for days. First try of the game. Jeeps extend the lead 8-0 over Bond in the 11th minute.
Yeah, great starter play there. It's always great to see something straight off the training paddock come away with points. Obviously, Bryce Hegarty, class touch at the end to put Jono Kent away.
Untouched there for Kent in the corner. Too easy for GPS to start.
And first one for the year for Jono.
That's probably why he's so happy about it.
Yeah,
Off Nudie.
No,
it's a long run at Yoku.
It is a long run, definitely.
Tape.
And we just see here a bit of an unsettled scrum here, Tom, but how good from Bryce Hegarty. Silky.
Yeah, very, very good. I think longer over around his line just slightly there, but Jono doing what all good wingers do and hold their width and bang in another try.
Couple of strong decoy runners there. Just put Joe Fiddock in two minds and space on the outside.
A big kick here for Adele Timu, far left-hand side. He's got that wind on the right shoulder, so he's 1 from 1 today. Can he pick up the extras here? Strikes well to the left of the post. So Jeeps in the lead, 8-0. Been a bit of starty-stoppy so far, gents, but it seems like Jeeps have they've been getting a lot of ball, a lot of possession in the opening 10.
Yeah, look, just straight from that kickoff, obviously the first kickoff of the game, they kicked to Mitch Third, who put it out 40 metres inside their own half, and Jeeps really much have tried to control field position, which they've had. They played minimal rugby off the last kickoff. I think they'll probably play 1 or 2 phases here and look to get back in the Bond territory.
There's the restart. Jeeps coming away with the ball. Hegarty throws it onto the right, sends it downtown, but trio of Bull Sharks waiting for him out the back. There's the kick up high from Fiddick. Underneath it is Stowers, but it's been knocked forward by Jeeps, so it'll be Bond scrum. First feed for Bond too.
First opportunity. We haven't had much possession so far, so I'm excited to see what the backline can create here and with a bit of ball in hand.
Brent Stowers there, product from the Somerset College. He was a Queensland schoolboy in 2017. He's 4th in the competition for defenders beaten. And I think in that game against South, Geordie, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think I've ever seen a winger cop that much of a beating for aerial contest than him. He's keen.
And certainly, he hits hard, he always get back up, and he has some of the most ferocious feet I've ever seen in my life. He can certainly beat a defender.
Collins v Stowers would be pretty mint this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a stepper versus speedster, isn't it?
Bind! Set!
Picked out the back by Antonine. They go to the right. Stowers comes off his wing, gives it into the middle. Finds Menzies, who ploughs his way up. Turnover is not good.
Go on the ground first. On the ground first.
From Namalo.
Must be on your feet.
So brilliant opportunity here for Bond. They take 3, go for the line.
I reckon they'll go for the line, put the pressure on. We've talking about scoreboard pressure, but I reckon, as Boardman's looking to do, they'll back themselves.
If they lose by 3 at the end, Geordie, it's finals football, mate. Take the points sometimes, but I'll back them in. Big year for Dan Boardman, originally from Lennox Head in northern New South Wales.
Yeah, okay. Just tell me because I'll be going the ball along.
No worries.
Yeah, just tell me if I'm right or
We've
wrong.
been very impressed with Boardman. First year as captain, he's led the team very well. Experience above his years, that's for sure.
Cross. Across, Tommy.
I think the problem is Namalo couldn't feel Stowers on his back because of the size differential. So in his mind, he wasn't actually doing anything wrong.
Like all good sevens.
Turner floats it in, taken well by Blythe up top, driving maul engaged. Turner will scoop into the back of it and grab it. Gorman is burrowing his way through. Dylan's got no choice to pull it out. Now they're going to swing it through. Mix up from the back, and they manage to keep it alive. Good offload through to Dowd. Dylan made the big migration down the M1, formerly of the Kennel, and he's had a ripper year for Bond. They've got penalty advantage now. Goes to left. Dylan throws a heck of a left foot grubber through, but Murphy's going to bring it back for the penalty. It's been a real slow migrating game today, though. It looks like Bond have managed to get their way up to this end of the field. It's very nostalgic of the game we saw a couple of weeks ago, where the game was just slowly moving from end to end.
Yeah, very much so. Look, there's 2 contrasting games last time these 2 teams met. Bond with great counter-attack and Jeeps with the set-piece ascendancy.
It seems like they've really tightened up their ships, though, because there were a few more errors than they probably wanted to give away a couple of weeks ago. But I think in the time between now and then, this is looking like a much more polished and refined thing. And the things that we thought, Bond with the set-piece, like they've managed to turn that around hugely.
100%. Grant Anderson has obviously put a big focus on the scrum the last few weeks, and looks like the boys are standing up.
So it looks like Malonga Canelio's cracked the melon there, Christy.
Yeah, look, I think it was in that last tackle that he made, the ball and all tackle. Great tackle, and has obviously copped a stray boot or forearm to the head.
Pitch third, 65% for this season. He'll improve it. So they're on the scoreboard. Bond trailing Jeeps 3 points to 8. Eventually took the points, Geordie.
Eventually. We had a go, but we took the point scoreboard pressure, and we'll go again.
We've got to take them when they're right in front there.
Like the Wallabies should have last week.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Let's not even talk about today.
It's all right.
What letters though?
Good. Go. No. He's a back. He's fine.
That is rich from Damon Murphy, if I've ever heard it.
I'll pay it. It's good. It's good gear. Altimu for the restart. Up and icy, feeds it right to third. He looks for his exit, but he's not going to get it. Kent was sitting underneath it. Now they're going to link up through the middle. Altimu puts some mice on it. Hegarty's charging through. He's got eyes for the ball, but Dylan will get there first. Short ball to Stowers. Stowers into space. There's a line break. Gets past 1, 2, 3. Huge run from Stowers.
Advantage, high tackle.
They've got a penalty advantage again. Third.
Right.
Sends it out the back door. Here's Dowd. Dowd pierces through. He's got space. Dowd is going. Dowd is in. Try time. Bond University. It's all tied up. 8 points all. Conversion to come.
There's that counter-attack we spoke about, Geordie.
Brian Stowers there, the feet, and opened up for Maxwell Dowd. He found some space, put the afterburners on and scored under the sticks.
Yeah, right idea from Jeeps initially to kick there, but it's really important that they kick to make it contestable, particularly with his Bond back 3 who was so electric, who just opened them up then.
Well, Hegarty was there and he was chasing it down, but it seemed like the ball just kept running further and further away from him, and he knew at one point you got to stop trying to chase that thing, and Liam Dillon was just waiting.
Probably not more so on Bryce there, to be honest with you, Marty. I think it's probably the connection in behind him, ensuring that there's a connection established amongst a group of players, so it was a bit fractured there, and Bond were good enough to open them up.
And we look at the stats from this season. Bond on average, they're first for try, assist, line breaks, defenders beaten and offloads. And after seeing that run down the field after that conversion was successful, it just, the stats aren't lying right now when we see this.
Yeah, and look, as Freddie Burke, unfortunately, one-on-one with a winger, and as honest as Freddie is, he's never going to get there.
If you watch the replay here, out to third, he finds his feet, finds Maxwell Dowd, and straight through the middle. Dowd moved from the fullback position a few weeks ago back to the wing, and he's really finding his place.
Yeah, I think Jeeps were really trying to do cover defence and try and jam, and then that moment Bond straightened up, it was just doors were open everywhere. Restart from Alatimu. We've got a game here, 10 points to 8. Bond in the lead for the first time now. Third floats up. Bad pass to Fred Burke into space. He couldn't believe it. Malua, Richards. Michael Richards is being held up, though, by big Angus Blythe. Ooh, Fio hurdles over. Nick Turner, Watsaw shoulder, straightening up through the middle. There goes Rassalia. Australian sevens, Fiji under 20s. Massive import on the knock on there from Namalo. And let's talk about some of those imports that the Gallopers have brought in this year, Tom. And I think, Junior Rassalia, he is a big one. I think he's fresh off a stint in France for Grenoble.
Yeah, he's played a few seasons over in France after leaving the Western Force and found himself back in Brisbane. Linked up with the Reds and was in that bubble for a significant period of the season. So we'd like to have him a little bit earlier, but it's great to have him out there today.
Rugby's the real winner, but we have to talk about that. Like across all the teams, there's just so many players that have come back from all over the world, come back home to play in this comp, and it's made it a really, even though it's a short season, it's been top notch.
Absolutely, and I think you look at the two teams yesterday that played, UQ and Nice, both benefited from the COVID situation.
Ben Mowen, if you're listening, you're feeling a bit better. His face did look like a bit of a bucket of smashed crabs yesterday after he copped that stray boot. And they'll be really watching this game with intent to see who gets the win, because that's who they're playing next week. And I guess there would be some sour thoughts after their incursion down the M1 with you guys earlier in the year.
Most definitely. That was a hell of a game back then, and the Bond boys got it done that down east, so I'm sure they would back themselves if they do get the result today.
Go! Across!
Namo just waiting for the lineup to set. Nongo doing his best to try and listen in.
The better is me.
Would be hard. Quickly off the back, Malua. Jukes and jives his way through the traffic, but he's going to get held on the 40-metre line. Now they look to the left. Richards gets brought down hard by Turner. Another kick from Alatimu. Thinks he sees something out the back. Stowers will scramble to grab it. Now will fake the kick. Go the second time. Hammer it off the left. That's a nice touch from the winger.
Yeah, not a bad outcome there for Bond. Look, the line-out's a bit of a concern for Jeeps at the moment. A couple of times Scotty's been put under pressure from sloppy delivery. I'm sure they'll be keen to fix that up so they can get some backline launches.
Jack Straker on screen. He said had about 5-year stint over in New Zealand, and he's played time with Canterbury,
Northland.
Northland Talisman, and that was he was a real Jeeps product early in the piece too.
Yeah, he's played all his junior footy at Jeeps, so it's great to have him back.
As you mentioned, that lineup continues to be a problem for Jeeps this afternoon.
And we look at the lineup, the stats from the season, and Michael Richards, he's led the competition for line-out steals on 8, and he's taken 42 for the season, and he seems to be getting a lot of his takes up in the middle and the back, but they're having just problems hitting today, Tommy.
Yeah, look, I don't know what it is. I guess this is the first time this team's actually played together for Jeeps, and the benefit that Bond do have is that they've had minimal disruption with players coming back. So whilst Jeeps have got a strong team on paper, it's that synergy and that time that they spent together, which is probably a little bit lacking at the minute.
Down the middle, Menzies floats out to the captain. Boardman straightens up, gets a huge offload out the back to Fiddick, who tries to find Dowd. Can't quite link up. Oof.
Option.
Namalo about to go Tom Brady on us.
That's Junior Rossalia.
Option.
exciting edge attack though for Bond. Out to Fiddock, who is explosive, was also in the bubble this year for the Queensland Reds. Good to see him back in the 15. Just couldn't link up with Dowd there.
Look at this burst down the right-hand side, Geordie. Synergy with these backs is pretty unreal.
If you look at our back line, these guys have been playing together for the last few years now, so the combinations are there. It's going to make it happen today.
Showed their intent straight away with a good set piece to get to width there too, Geordie.
I understand the boys will be confident today. They've turned it around today, so...
Hey, there's a good little contingent too, sitting up on the hill, cheering them on.
Yeah, the boys have made the trek.
Bond didn't give them a bus?
I think there was a couple of buses going up, so we shifted as many blokes as we could up here, and it's been a good culture down there this year, so it's exciting to get the boys here.
Well, if the boys get up, it's going to be a rowdy bus on the way back down. Big scrum from the Bull Sharks. And they have got the Gallopers on ice skates.
Absolutely. Look, did not see this coming, and Bond have definitely got the momentum. It's really important here now that Jeeps has weathered the storm and stay in the fight.
And you've got to wonder how many more scrums they're going to get to push over before they can start asking a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure Boardman will be in his ear pretty soon.
Good nudge there from captain Dan Boardman. It'll set up Bond for an attacking line out, 15 metres away from the try line.
You on? Sir, do we fucking need 100% here? Let's go.
Wonderful attacking opportunity for Bond. They're going to sail it well out to the back end. Oh, it's taken.
Scrappy there for Dylan Rowe.
Dylan telling Henson to get out of the way before he gives him the ball to charge in at Richards.
Blindside play here.
Advantage for Bond. Looking on the left. Here's down. Floats it open before Hegarty snares it, but they bring it back for the penalty advantage.
Offside. 7 blue.
Another penalty going against Andre Namalo at the breakdown.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You know, he's very hard on the ball in.
Pretty easy for a back to say.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's a tough competitor at the breakdown, and at times throughout the years he's got away with them, and obviously they've got a closer eye on today's game.
Tommy, Freddie Burke's down, and I know there was part of the season that he was MIA because of injuries. How's he holding up?
Yeah, look, Freddie's fine. He trained all throughout the week and the league last couple of weeks as well. So if he is no good, I guess the benefit that we do have, we've got an established player and Jeffro Fellini to come on as well.
Not the two dads there, Gorman and Freddie Burke.
That last one, bind up. Bind was up the last one. It's all good.
Yeah, it's still gone short.
Yeah.
He's getting past the first part shot. He's got to keep him legal.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, it's all fine.
Okay.
As soon as he gets under pressure, he's just dropping his spine and
Okay.
under. Okay.
I'm going to stay that side though, because I reckon that's. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go.
So it looks like referees, they're seeing a bit of action on both sides, but they're going to be keeping a pretty keen eye on that far side of the scrum because it seems to be where the action's happening.
Huge attacking opportunity now for Bond. 5 metres out. Full backline set to the left.
Freddie Burke not in the huddle. I think Freddie Burke is leaving the field.
He's not looking too good. Jeffro Fellini's coming on to replace him. Got one cap with the St George Queensland Reds during Super Rugby AU.
It'll be interesting to see now because this gives, I think, Jeeps a bit of breathing room and a bit of a reset on how Damien Murphy's going to be looking at their scrum under the microscope. So big opportunity here. Jeffro Fellini. As part of the Blues under-18s program over in New Zealand. Played for North Harbour in the ITM. Tongan International as well.
Absolutely.
Pretty handy off the bench.
Yeah, could be worse.
Go, Jeff, go.
Big push here from the Gallopers. Now Downs up out of the line. Charges through, but he's wrapped up by Alatimu, but he's been called offside. Another penalty. Straight running from Henson. Dillon to the left, finds third. There's the kick off the left, running through. Stowers is beaten to the post once again by Hegarty, but they're going to come back for another penalty.
Time off.
And I think there's a chat coming.
It's another offside. Okay. Last time down here there was 3 advantages. I've had 2 more. Any more down here, someone go to the bin.
Give a step. What number?
That was 10 blue.
That was a pretty clear message from Michael Richards to the boys.
Can't take it any more clearer than that, can you? Look, I think it's the pressure that Bond are putting Jeeps under at the moment. Hence is why the penalties are starting to flow for the Bond side.
His third looks to line up the extra 3 here.
And you got to look, like from a finals point of view, Tommy, you've been in that point. If you're Bond right now, do you keep pressuring this to force a yellow, or do you just take these points and say, no, we're going to come back in here? Like, what do you keep doing? Because right now, I seem like Bond's got all these cards in their hands, and it's like, which one's the best one to play?
Yeah, look, I think you take the points when they're on offer there and continue with the momentum. I guess the risk that you play with when you go to a set piece, you've got the variable of turning the ball over. So I think they've done the right thing here. Puts them out to a try break, 5 points. So they score another penalty. It starts becoming pretty difficult for GPS.
Bond extend the lead now, 13 points to 8 in their maiden finals berth, which is just unbelievable for the club. Great achievement to everyone down the coast. There's the restart from Alatimu. High and right down the throat of Mitch Third once again. And carbon copy, he'll send it down, but Alatimu this time he cleans it up. Centers up to Hegarty. Hegarty straightens up, but he is met by nothing but hard tanned Gold Coast shoulders. Straker. Oh, Straker. Got monstered Bonda all over it. Blythe's picked it up, but Scrappy on the ground gives away a penalty. So opportunity here to break the momentum.
Yeah, lucky to get away with that, Jeeves. Jack Straker was isolated there.
Gold, never back on side.
Just important here now that Jeeps stay composed. So the likes of AJ, Bryce Hegarty, Michael Richards, Dan Gorman in particular, just bring a bit of calm to the group. They're obviously a little bit rattled. Still plenty of time left in this game in this half. So good kick here, good set piece, and get back into the swing of things.
Bryce Hegarty really has been injecting himself up out of the back of the field into these attacking plays a few times. You can see here, Straker, he was just mobbed.
He was, you know. They can definitely tell they're a little bit rattled at the moment. And as I said earlier, it's the first time that this Jeeps team's played together, so expected to be a few errors.
Namo goes to the front, Gorman takes it clean, now Mal Lewis sends it out. Alatimu centers options, up the middle is Vio. Hey, Diddle right up the middle. Vio is in.
The Bond crowd on the hill, pretty sure he knocked it on, but from this angle we couldn't see. Great run there, great carry. In back play we've got Twain Tuolima down. He's looks like he's nursing a shoulder coming down off that line out.
And Vio's down as well. He might be ankle or calf. Cramp. One heavy run and he's... Here's the replay. Off the back.
Yeah, look, Junior Russellia taking the ball to the line there. I guess that's a threat when you've got 3 big ball runners in Junior Russellia and the Marlow and Ratu Vio, who looks like he may have spilt it there.
Bit of a suspect call there.
That's finals rugby, though, at the moment. They're not. Even though we get the luxury of all these wonderful angles, David Murphy doesn't have that.
No, he doesn't.
He's got his eyes and the 2 ARs, and that's it.
That's all you can rely on.
Massive carry there, though, by the 8. It was 8 on 8 on Dinian from Bond.
Now the team who grabs the extras, so Gallopers retake the lead. 15 points to 3. 13 points, I beg your pardon. What a thunderous roll this was.
Yeah, look at big ball runners there and got to a weak shoulder. Great strong carry and, oh, geez. Oh, ooh. Touch and go, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll give us a bit of momentum there on the ball. Tough call.
I think Fiddick and Boardman were literally standing over the top of that. I'm surprised they didn't say more. Restart from third. Good take there by Canelio. Canelio's got the brow all bandaged up now. Hegarty size up to Tuolima, who's back up. One St George Queensland Reds player to another. But a knock on.
Yeah, Yeah, that's that sweat coming in on the ball. Obviously, really important when they go down into contact that they control it on the ground. The hotter weather here in Brisbane this time of year is going to play havoc.
It's spring, not the middle of winter.
Time.
And we got time off. A couple of banged up players in the back, and Tuanutulima there losing that ball. Another attacking set piece option coming up for Bond, but the scrum looked like it was a bit more even once Jethro came on.
Yeah, look, he's obviously very experienced in that regard. Look, it's really important here now that he obviously holds his end of the scrum up, but also Jeeps get an outcome from this defensive effort. They've sort of let Bond have the run of play in their own half and given away a couple of penalties. We heard last passage of play, Damon Murphy was
Dallin would be very upset if
sorry, mate. It was pretty clear. Next time there could potentially be a card.
And it'll be interesting too now because Elvis has had to dip into his front row reserve stock probably a little sooner than he wanted. It means that Bond get to still have Winchester, Aholele and Blake to come on in the second half for a bit of impact. And based on how the Bond scrum was initially, that's going to have to be something that not only Jeeps and Elvy's going to have to figure out how to counter a bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's particularly in the hotter weather as we spoke, it's going to be another challenge altogether, particularly for the big blokes who are holding up a scrum and having to get around the field.
Like Freddie didn't look like he's coming back today.
Yeah,
he looked like he was pretty, because Freddie's a tough as they come.
He is as tough as they come. He's from New Zealand, from Christchurch. He loves scrummaging, and he'd have to be in a bad way to come off.
Big scrum here for Bond. 25 metres out from the Gallopers line. They're down by 2 points. Good push there from the Gallopers. Dylan will send a wobbly pass over to the left-hand side. It'll be scooped up by Menzies. Left once more. Good run from Deneen, but he's knocked it on. Hegarty scoops it up. Henson giving a bit of pressure at the breakdown. Malua fires it out. Finds Namalo, who manages to bust through nothing, actually. It was tackled. Now bring it back to the scrum. It looks like Fellamy's really shorted up for the Gallopers now, and that last scrum was pretty fair trade.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, really interesting to see the width that the forward runners are getting off Liam Dillon, obviously trying to move this big Jeeps pack around, and unfortunately there for Declan Deneen, he knocked the ball on.
Hide up for me. Yep. Same. Same again, keep that elbow up. Here's your mark.
Thanks, my boys.
Penalty here, straights.
Some kegs behind you now. Seconds in.
Oh, wait.
Crouch! Bang! Set!
Gallopers at the scrum. Malua throws it in now. They're getting a bit of a nudge on forward. Here's the Gallopers that we know and love. They've got advantage. Picked up and go from the back. Vio doesn't get too far. Penalty advantage. The Gallopers going to try their hand, but
obstruction, but apparently here. Walking around.
Good opportunity for them to send it downtown and have a crack at their set piece off the line out.
Gold walking around under pressure.
Well, we've got a moment here. We'd like to thank the sponsors that support Club of Grassroots Rugby. For Jeeps, it's High for Hire. And for Bond, it is Bruce Litton Land Rover. Thank you very much for sponsoring the club, gentlemen. And we look forward to your ongoing support the rest of the final series and into 2021. Good strike there from Alatimu. Sends it down, so attacking line out in the attacking half. Namo, another opportunity here.
Huh?
Lineout's been a bit wobbly first half. Namo. Couple of fakes up the front. They go out the back. Richards takes it clean. Malu, Alatimu. Nice little trundle up the middle there from Namalo once more. There's Vio.
Strip's good. Strip.
Ball's been lost. Out the back, Boardman's got it. Throws it over to the left to nobody. Scooped up there by Henson. Now he'll straighten up. Oh, there comes Andre Namalo. And Dylan will knock it on. Nobody can hold on to it at the moment. Namo scoops it up. Now Jeeps. Malua picks and goes. Looks for the offload, but he's read brilliantly by the defence who drags him over. That was Dylan Rowe and his opposite, Liam Dillon.
That was a strip.
Back and forth right now, gents. No one wants to hold on to it for too long.
I felt like he's
Yeah, look, for both teams are putting immense amount of pressure on the breakdown and competing well there. So it's really important, I think, when the person who's carrying there has got their support to ensure that they can maintain that continuity.
You've played a fair bit of finals footy, Mr. Christie. There is no doubting that. When you see a game like this, there's almost a bit of a frantic pace about it.
Yeah.
What do you need to do at this point in time to get the game moving
It's
forward?
not so much what you need to do, it's just more or less probably seeing your players stepping up and just providing a bit of clarity and calm to the group as well. It's really, really important that we've got someone come off there, do we?
Yeah, it looks like
So see the pressure, and then all of a sudden, Scrum
Devin
comes
Henson,
down,
I think,
versus movement
split his
forward
noggin
that way.
now.
on the right hand side.
Stay in the contest,
So it looks like we've got the
push them
Blythe
up to get
boys
forward.
packing down together.
Bond's first brother trio playing finals footy. Sorry. Brother duo.
Mate, is there a secret one? Is there a secret one that you're revealing on this?
Mate, just give it time.
No, this is not the Bachelor, all right? There's no secret love children on this show. No, the two Blythe boys. How exciting though, brothers. Would have been sharing the kitchen table growing up. Now they're sharing the rugby field. Tell you what, that would have been a big food bill for those two. Not as big as the Richards house though. Here goes the scrum. Malalua's patting him on the back. Says keep going. There's the arm from Murphy. Vio at the back, picks and goes. There might have been a little knock on there, so they're going to bring it back for the scrum advantage. And just when you think you're understanding what's happening, finals footy spins it back on itself, and now it's Jeeps with ascendancy, looking to hunt inside the 22.
Yeah, look, Jethro's really short up the scrum, that's for sure. Big call here, going for touch, backing their set piece, line out, maul to go over.
That'd be the natural instinct, wouldn't it? You're pushing over with the 8 that you've got, so you put a driving maul in, you're recipe to success, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think AJ probably would wish he'd got a little bit more on that. They're about roughly 15 metres out, anywhere close to the 5 would have been ideal.
That's it, stay there now.
Massive momentum shift now for GPS. Very important for Bond to weather the storm here. Attacking line out opportunity.
Namo fires clean to front. Tuilima unopposed. Altimu goes himself. Good run there. And the 5'8", Richards recycles it through.
Oh, great offload.
Gorman now. Gorman. Tuilima manages to back up. He's there with Richards.
Advantage.
Penalty advantage again. Malua finds Alatimu, who floats one out wide. Collins has got space, and the speed wins over the agility.
He's always good to find Joshy Collins.
Big result there for the Gallopers. You know, I think they really did capitalise. I think having Devin Henson off, they lost a bit of synergy in their line out and in the scrum set piece for Bond, and I guess they knew that until he gets some staples or glue in his forehead, he won't be back on the pitch, so they really capitalised on that player missing.
Yeah, absolutely. It made me look silly there. I thought they were going to maul, and obviously probably a little bit too far away from the try line to try that, and they shifted the point of attack well. Jeeps got around the corner and then gave Joshy Collins a space in the corner there to
and
score.
He's picked up his 10th for the season.
Only 10.
Only 10. So big try here for the Gallopers, Tommy, and we see that first pass a bit wobbly, but it manages to work out in the end.
Yeah, it does. And look at this, Joshy Collins. You don't need to give him an invite with half a line open, and he's good enough to take the opportunity.
Great experience there by Alatimu. Sees the space wide and just shifts it.
Alatimu hunting. Strikes it very nicely. That is conversion successful. The Gallopers retake the lead and extend it somewhat. 22 points to 13 over Bond as we move into the final minute of play. And Geordie, Bond were just heading backwards, just never really able to kind of catch up to the attack.
Tough to find their feet there. GPS had all the momentum, bit of a scrum shift, and they've capitalised.
The restart goes high and it's taken well by the Gallopers. Will send it out for exit. Jono Kent, what a...
Oh no, it's gone too big.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's found touch.
Found the line.
No, he's found touch.
He must have skirted it pretty... I tell you what, you wouldn't want Angus Gardner on that left wing.
No, you wouldn't.
Would have missed it.
Stay there, Blue. Stay there, Blue.
Now Turner, he'll feed an attacking line out inside their own 40.
A couple of big forward runners to Bond midfield.
Blythe takes it comfortably in the middle. Now Dylan has a trot himself, sees some space, gets a line break, breaks away from 2, 3, nearly stumbles, looks for the offload but manages to hold on to it. He's isolated. Dowd gets there in the end. Here they go, left-hand side, Menzies. There's that left foot kick. Ploughing through out the back will be Fiddick and Stowers, but a pressure cooker situation sends the play from one end of the field to the other.
They'll play the line out.
And they're going to play the line out. There's just been something about Bond this year, gents. They are the masters at going coast to coast. They can go from one end of the field to the other with no dramas whatsoever from switching it up.
Certainly a chance to hand the boys back themselves with the attacking fluid. Went out wide, why not?
Well, they can get this and find a try and convert it. It's a 2-point game going into the break. Big opportunity here for Bond. Safe out the back. Rowe feeds it through to Nongor. Inside ball, but it's been knocked on. And that's so nostalgic what happened with the Wallabies last weekend at the end of the first half. But we're heading into the half-time now, and it will be the Gallopers in the lead, 22 points to 13. What a thunderous first half of rugby that was, gents.
Yeah, look, Bond really took us by surprise there with their set piece and kept them into the game there, and GPS able to wrestle a little bit of momentum back in that final 10.
And we see the break here. Liam Dillon, Geordie, what a year he's had. I think what a positive move it was for him coming down south again, back home.
Massive signing for us. If you watch the way he plays, he's plays with so much time. He found a gap there, looked for support. Certainly been a key part of our season this year.
Oh, that's a carbon copy of the Wallabies last weekend, isn't it?
And
Same field position and everything.
And young Stowers has just been ended by Gourmet there.
Half time here at Ballymore, and it was an absolutely blistering first half. And I think in our own minds we were kind of a bit worried in the first 10 minutes, like Botten were just putting the pedal down. And we thought this might have gone one way, but they've managed to claw it back, the Gallopers.
Yeah, they have. Well, obviously, Jeeps got out to a pretty good start straight away to a 3-point lead.
And we are now live with St George Queensland Red second rower Angus Blythe down at half time. Tom Mitchell, take it away.
Got Bliss here, Blythe, mates. Look, Jeeps, they raced out to an early lead there, but you guys showed great resolve to score 13 unanswered points, mate. That must be good getting back into the game like that, mate.
It is. It's great. It really puts a lot of confidence in us that when we play with the ball, we can come away with points. It's a really tight game out there. Whoever's got the ball and whoever holds possession is coming away with the goodies. So we're looking to keep the ball in the second half.
Mate, yourself, how good playing finals footy, club finals footy, mate, and with your brother too.
Yeah, it's awesome. Good to play with them last week, and then again this week. Really enjoying packing down with Wilson, and it's been really fun so far.
Mate, just finally, like you said, there's nothing in it. 9 points, mate. Your season. Do or die, 40 minutes of football. No doubt you'll be leaving nothing in the tank for this second half, mate.
Exactly right. Now we're emptying the tank this second half, and we'll be looking to hopefully go all the way when the final hooter sounds.
Great stuff, Blythe. You go well, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Mitchell down on the sideline with Angus Blythe, and he's just been a force to be reckoned with at the line out. I haven't seen anyone really oppose him too much.
No doubt, he's been a massive inclusion for us, obviously from the Red bubble, so exciting to have him back. A bit of experience too, so he's certainly showing his worth this afternoon.
And it is half time here. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be back with all of the second half action. It's Jeeps up against Bond. See you soon. Welcome back. It is half time here for our minor semi-final All Sports Physio Hospital Challenge Cup here at Ballymore, the home of Queensland Rugby. I'm Marty Lippier. Joining me in the comms box at half time and for the second half, Tom Christie and Geordie Hughes. Boys, what a first half.
Yeah, look, it was end-to-end stuff there for a period of time, and I think as the game goes on this second half, you're going to see a few tired bodies.
Well, I think the bench is going to play a really big role once we're kind of 55 and 60. Geordie, blistering pace early from the Bond boys, then it's backed off a bit and they let Jeeps back in. What are Bond going to have to really do to maybe box this one out and progress further into the finals?
Yeah, obviously massive momentum shift towards the back end of that second half, but for us, I reckon it's going to hold onto the ball, get that set piece right again and start again. I feel like once we have the ball in hand, build some phases, I feel like Bond can get it done.
Oh, I think Jeeps are no strangers to finals footy, Tom. They've been in and around this one since, 2017 is kind of when they've been present. All the finals campaigns up to here and now. I think they've got a bit of experience under the belt, and I think they'll probably try and use that, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Very, very experienced team in that sense. But as I alluded to earlier, it's the first time this team's actually played together. So
fresh combos.
Definitely. So there's going to be errors from time to time. So the senior players like your Dan Gormans and Michael Richards are going to have a big influence on this game.
Well, there's a couple of experienced guys come off the bench. We can have a look at that now. We'll start with the Gallopers. You're obviously going to get Mossy Takiri is yet to come on. We see Jamie Rickwood has had a great season playing in the second row. In and out, and then you've got brother of Michael, Nick, and then Bernard Nickel as well, who's another long-term member of the Gallopers.
Yeah, look, there's plenty of experience there on the bench, and the great thing about all those blokes is that they add value when they come onto the field as well, so definitely look for them to have an impact once they get on.
And Bond for you, Geordie, who are you looking forward to coming off the bench?
I reckon the likes of Luke Patworth, he's a strong ball runner, and then obviously for our scrum, big Eddie Alehi, he's got plenty of experience, Super Rugby caps. So hopefully someone like himself will really nullify that scrum for us.
And it's going to be the real moot point, isn't it? And I just wonder how much longer we'll see Wilson Blythe stay on the field. Do you think Grant will bring back Devin Henson once he's all patched up?
100%. Henson's been explosive all day, so I'm sure he'll be looking to get him back out there.
Well, he's had a little break while he gets some stitches probably in his forehead, which is probably going to help him in the second half a bit.
He's a tough nut. He'll go again. No worries.
Well, his nut did get cracked.
100%.
Slow out, and I think really impressive performance by Tuanima coming in. Like you said, Tommy, he's been stuck in that Reds bubble with there was quite a glut of players that were stuck in there that have been released in the last 2 weeks down to Premier Rugby, and yeah, Sam Wallace from UQ is a real standout because I think he's just been deadly on the pitch. But Tuanima, I think he'd be itching at the seams too, just to be getting on playing some footy.
And to name another one, obviously Junior Russell Leah has been here for the whole year, but hasn't played any footy. This is
Jack Straker as well.
I
think Jack got a couple of caps. Couple of starts and off the benches for the Reds the season coming up from shoot to help them fill the front row quota a bit for the Reds, and he had a really good trot of it too.
Yeah, definitely. And but as I said, it's going to be interesting this back half of this game for those blokes who haven't played much footy throughout the year, how their legs hold up.
As we said, Marty, big Devin Henson's back out there in the 27 jersey now, the head strapped up, he's ready to go.
Can you stick on that for me?
Yeah, no worries.
Off-ball stuff?
Yeah.
So Dan Boardman and
involved, but if we have to, we will.
Nick Turner is
take care of it.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a conference with Mr. Murphy before the kickoff.
It's all about referee management, isn't it?
And we're away second half. All Sports Physio Hospital Challenge Cup minor semi-final. Gallopers up against Bond. Mal Lure out the back. They're running into the wind this time, the Gallopers. There's Namo. Gorman shores up the breakdown. Alatimu puts it onto that right. And that wind holds it up underneath. A scud missile is Cornelio. That ball's loose out the back. Fiddick scrambles to grab it before he woofs it with the left. Alatimu manages to regather. He's got Collins on the right. Gives it to him on the inside. Very tidy. Collins gets rid of one. Gets another offload through. This is really good from the Gallopers. Good running there from Rassolia. Oh, wobbly pass will get scooped up by Nongor. Right place, right time. And Fred Burke looks like he's back on the wicket in the number 1 jersey. Oh, it's Jack Straker, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, look, really important that Twain Tualima just holds onto that ball there. He's thrown it away and subsequently turned it over, and it's been compounded by a penalty.
That's unlucky, that's lazy.
What a tidy offload that was. Joshy Collins pirouettes out of one, offloads all the way through to Rassolea. Oh,
it's silky.
Showing a bit of his sevens experience there, old Rassolea.
Absolutely. Look, it also Twainer takes that tackle there, gives him an offside line that the Bond players have got to get back to, and throwing it away there just brings them back into the game.
Massive nudge there by Boardman to put Bond inside the 22 now.
As a kicker, that win behind you, that's big advantage going to the back half.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously plays on your mind as well. You can probably chew off a few extra metres.
Stay there, Blue.
Line out coming for Bond. Turner squares up. Blyce up the front. Unopposed once again. It's in the hands of Rowe, and he's going to feed it through to Turner at the back. Bond getting a good drive on forward. They're still going. The Gallopers can't slow them down. Here come Bond rumbling their way towards the line. It's at the back. Turner runs through. He's also going to get the try. Massive try.
Couldn't ask for a better start, Bond.
I think it's big Devin Henson under all of that.
I think he must have gotten that ball off the hands of Turner, and he's just lumbered his way over. Huge result there for Bond. Really big kick to come here for Mitch third, and we're going to get the vision from the back here, Jordan. We see them splintering. This is something they've been practicing a lot.
No doubt. It's been a strong part of our game all year. You watch Nick Turner at the back there. I think Henson will just scoop it off him and break away to the left there. He's done just that. And
nice clean splinter.
The big South African, hard to stop from there.
Bit of tall order for Scott Malua to try and stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the game goes back to the Jeeps turning that ball over in prime position off that counter-attack.
Perfect starting for Bond. First points in the second half. His third lines up this one from out wide.
Big kick. Wind coming over that right-hand shoulder. Here we go. Wonderful kick. And we're going to get some primo footage of that try coming through here, boys. And we see the attacking driving more coming from Bond. And
held up, I think.
I hope he got the shot.
Yeah, the...
couldn't be in a better spot, could he?
Yeah.
I'm glad someone got it.
Just have to get his photos after the game to confirm. Conversion was successful. Bond trailing. The Gallopers 20 points to 22. Now the Gallopers hitting the pick and drive as they get over the halfway. Malua finds through Namo. Ooh, Namo narrowly avoids the Henson special. Right hand side. Collins has a bit of a juke and a jive, keeps it in the field of play. But they're going to bring it back for the penalty advantage.
27 gold offside.
Dylan Rowe offside. Croatian national. Former Souths boy as well.
Former Souths boy. He's certainly a journeyman. He's played plenty of football overseas, and we've had him at Bond for the last couple now. He's a big leader in our pack.
The kick here from Alatimu for the exit, and there's been a real kind of theme.
Hasn't found touch.
Ooh.
Stowers now.
It's Coach Kill up middle. Dylan throws it onto the right. It'll collect the bounce before it's scooped up by Hegarty in the shadows of McLean's stand. Now he's going to straighten up, goes through 1-2, but Dowd will get his man.
Stolen there by Henson.
Big from Bond.
15 blue, holding on.
Huge effort from Devin Henson.
He's a good story, Devin Henson. He started the year in third grade, slowly went up to seconds, and now he's really found his own at the top level.
Now Boardman hunts for the line.
Another great purchase from Boardman.
You did hear a bit of a flounder from him, though. He was worried that he might have overdone it, but he's threaded the needle
Where do you think this is going, Geordie?
Mate, one guess, Nick Turner at the back, rolling more.
Boys, lines and mark
No
across.
doubt they'll back themselves here.
I don't know, Stowers out on the left-hand side is a pretty nice option as well.
Yeah. I think they'll get this pretty close, to be honest with you, Marty.
Back blue.
Taken. Well by Blythe. The driving maul is engaged. Turner's got his hands on it at the back. He's got Dillon in close succession. Straker gets out of the way. He's in a bad position. Bond's still pushing forward, but the Gallopers trying to nudge him out of the way. Turner looks for his second, and he gets it.
Nick Turner, his first finals campaign, his first finals try. Bond go bang bang here.
Big for Bond, retake the lead, 25 points to 22, kick to come. This game just goes back and forth. We've still got 36 minutes to go, 34 minutes to go.
A bit like basketball, isn't it, end to end?
No, I think there's a few heavy set forwards that probably don't like it going end to end as much as it is, but Nick Turner, 5 tries for the season, very successful driving maul.
And what's his combined running meters for that, Jordan?
Not many.
Got one of our chief statisticians sitting next to us, and I think he could do it on one hand.
They all count.
The hookers, just meat pies for days at the back. And really well structured there, Geordie. They kept it together really nice. They kept moving forward, and I think Jeeps were more worried about giving away the penalty because Damon's given them a warning already about penalties inside the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, really important, though, that Jeeps don't go into the shell here and still keep competing. They was a little bit hesitant there, and hence Bond got the momentum.
Now third. 10 out from the sideline, 22 from the try line. Looks for it. Pushes it to the left. Bond in the lead, 25 points to 22 over Jeeps here in the 49th minute of play. The Gallopers, they need a response here. It's been all Bond for the last 10 minutes. Alatimu. Drop it right on Stowers, who's met by his opposite, Collins.
That's outside. It's outside, boys. It's outside.
Upfield.
Take it back, Geordie.
Manages to keep it ahead of the 22 before a big booming kick down. Goes right into the hands of Alatimu in the backfield. It's taken well, but gets a good offload through. This is good running here from Russellea. Looking to the left, here's Namo.
It's isolated.
Over the top with Nongor, but didn't have enough time. Big hits!
Massive shot. Henson over the top.
Vio straightens up hard. Alatimu, bit of shuffling out the back, finds Fellamy. Tuolima, Richards. Third most carries in the competition for the captain, 102 going into today's match.
Really narrow here, Jeeps.
And that'll be an intentional knockdown from Devin Henson.
Just in back play, we've got Nongor struggling.
Knocking the ball down.
Grabbing a bit of knee, bit of hamstring. And Nongor got that fantastic turnover just before. And really huge in this game, one of the young front rowers.
Yeah, he's been good today. Set piece has been exceptional, and his work around the park as well has been equal to that.
You certainly knows the difference he's made at scrum time today.
There's been some big shots happening too. Right, Vio has just been stepping up. He just eats it up, doesn't he?
Yeah, doesn't mind a bit of contact. Look at that.
It was Henson again, just lining up. That's a titanic clash between the two.
Yeah, cynical there. That's really disappointing for Bond. Look, Jeeps were quite narrow there in their attack, and Bond looked to be countering that quite well. It's a soft penalty to give away.
And it's a really obvious one now too, because there's been so much emphasis in the last couple of seasons about intentional knockdowns versus genuine attempts.
Yep.
That on this stage especially, it's kind of inexcusable.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, an interesting call here. Obviously, well within AJ's range here, but they're back in their line out.
Aaron, take the front for me, mate.
I think we've got a few battered and bruised bodies that are going to linger on. Start seeing that flood of reserves probably in the next kind of 10 or 15 minutes coming onto the field. Namo takes Tuolima at the front. Down and goes to Malalua. Alatimu gives it off again to Junior Rasalea. Gets a good place before Namalo charges through and picks and goes. Tackle complete. Here goes Vio again. Vio charges it up well. Straker, quick one off to Richards, who looks for the offload, but it'll be battered around the hands. I think it's play on.
He's lucky to hang on to that.
Pick and go there from Felamy. Malalua looking for players, and Namalo cops a huge shoulder, offloads it to the opposition. Now Hegarty has taken an intercept.
Knock on here.
The intent there by Namalo is good, but it's just too narrow on his line there. You can just see where Bond are really loading up on 1, 2 and 3. If they get any purchase on these runs there, it needs to probably get a little bit wider.
And the shoulders they're putting on, they're just folding those big bodies of Vio and Namalo just around them, and they're isolating. Yeah, they're dangerous, but Bond have done their homework and they're tackling accurately and correctly.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I think also as well, it's when the defence is most set at 1, 2 and 3, and Jeep's running back into it's making life hard for themselves. You see with Bond when they're in possession that they're getting slightly wider and is causing stress for Jeeps. So he needs to be on the outside line there rather than the inside line.
Devin Henson's a monster. He's just getting involved with as much as he can today, and he is really on track probably for a man of the match if Bond get this win.
Absolute machine, right under the ribs there and spilt the ball.
Big scrum nonetheless.
Dylan. Oh, and that one caves in on itself, but Bond will be rewarded.
Massive relief there for Bond. Get out of jail there.
We've got on the sideline warming up Nick Richards looking to enter the fray, probably for Namalo Kuiatha at 7.
I think that's going to be LV's strategy. Just the boys run it out hard, and they probably know who's coming on for who going into the back 20.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll probably see the line-out security probably increase a bit with Nick Richards, because I think him and Michael are both pretty good line-out options.
Yeah, they are. And also, Nick's also exceptional on the ground as well with the footy. You probably don't get the running metres out of him that you would Namalo, but he acts as an extra link player. So adding a bit of variety to this Jeeps attack. And Bond have combated the really direct style that Jeeps have gone with initially.
Just have to keep an eye, because it looked like Grant Anderson, he's staying securely sat down there with his iconic bucket hat. Hasn't moved any of his subs into position yet.
That hat hasn't come off in years. He loves it. Same hat too.
What's he hiding?
I'm not going to comment there.
Smart. Line out, successful for Bond, and third out the back. Shows and goes, sends it out to Dowd. He'll straighten up, gets past 1, 2. He's brought down. The Gallopers are challenging at the breakdown, but they're not getting the thing. Here's Rowe, shows and goes into the old stalwart Gorman. Third through the middle. Brought down.
Lost it.
Here's Vio. Vio's into space. Vio looked for that offload. One of the competition leaders. No one was with him. Hegarty. Alatimu dribbles it across to the ankles of Michael Richards, who offloads it to his brother Nick. Back inside once more to John O'Kent for his first major touch of the second half.
Numbers right.
Tuolima.
There you go, that wider channel.
Gets the offload to Straker.
Needs to go.
Malalua sees it. He's trying to do anything he can to get it out. Loose balls. Picked up. Here goes Canelio. They're going to keep pushing into the right. Richards back. Alatimu, loose ball, dropped by
backwards.
The Gallopers, but they're going to keep ploughing on. Malalua holds it between his knees. Gets tackled. No halfback. Richards steps in, feeds it back to Vio. Namo.
Got to work to get some width here, Jeeps. They're getting quite narrow.
Numbers left side for GPS.
Hegarty floats a huge cutout pass. Gets it out. Fleeting feet from Ken. Oh, throws one back in, but it's been scooped up by Henson. Huge pressure from Bond has paid off. They've got the turnover. Siggs stands his ground up the front row, takes the settler, slows it down.
Yeah, you'll find the balls there.
Dylan finds third in the pocket, throws it on to the right. Kent, quick line out throw.
Joshy Collins open field. Here we go.
Collins throws it onto the right foot. No one's home back of field. Nongor's there though. Gets a huge take. Nongor manages to offload it through. This is huge. Now Menzies in the centre of field.
Nongor on the left wing to pluck that.
Mate, he'll be talking about it for years to come. Third. Chosen goes in the middle. Good trot from upfield. Great offload.
Oh, forward pass. Close. Jeez, and there was an open line ahead of him.
Beautiful line there from upfield with Dowd on his right.
Absolutely. Just was really impressive there. His Third's ability to hold up those initial defenders. He's got so much time with the ball in his hands, and his options who he's playing is exceptional.
I'm just loving that the amazing ball runners that we've got in both of these back lines are getting fed great opportunities to really strut their stuff. Like, we all thought that Joshy Collins was going to pull off some razzle-dazzle, but who would have thought it? Yeah. Zane Nongor is the one that gets in his way.
Yeah, you can't complain about him not working hard enough there.
Seagulling pays off.
Absolutely.
Oh, what a trot from Mitch third.
That's the initial turnover.
25-22.
Theo, you forget all the different sets of attack that we had in this.
It was phenomenal scramble defence from Bond to get out of it.
Then you got the kick that goes out, but then there's the quick restart. This had just a bit of everything, this one, didn't it?
I thought Joshy Collins was licking his lips here with an open field.
He saw the space but didn't see Nongor.
How can you miss the hair?
1-2.
He's done a great job. Look at the big man back there. Fantastic.
Over the head tape.
And the offload.
Does it bring a tear to your eye, Tommy?
No, yeah, it does actually. Great line there.
Probably front rowers the world over.
Yeah, good call, forward.
Yeah, very close.
Would love to see Maxwell Dowd in the backfield there. 1-on-1 with the fullback.
Mossy Dakiri warming up, ready to come on.
He's nephew of Lottie, and I believe they grew up in the same village over in Fiji.
Yeah, I think so. He's been in Australia for a period of time. Graduated from Mara Shasgrove 2 or 3 years ago, and come through the pathway.
I think the Mars contingent within this GPS team, I think it's probably at least, I can count maybe 7 or 8 players that have come through.
Yeah, about a third in the match day 23.
And then over for Bond, I think we've got about at least 12, I think, former Southport players as well, Geordie. So got some really big-name schools feeding into these clubs.
No doubt, certainly got a good relationship with TSS and Bond, so we gets a good talent coming through.
Oh, the local Coast boys playing for the local Coast club. That's what you want to see. What's your opinion on the M1 trip, Geordie, coming up and down, blessing or a curse?
Oh, mate, it's all part and parcel of Queensland Premier Rugby, isn't it? But you get used to it.
You get used to it? You do get the luxury, though. You guys would technically get just like weekend tour buses, more often than the rest of the boys. So it would probably mean some good bus chats.
Mate, there's a couple of good bus trips in there, I'll tell you what.
Probably not suitable for this conversation on these airways. We're seeing some good substitutions coming through. Takiri and Fellamy on the shoulders of Namo. Do you see Namo going for a full 80?
Molly Nguamo. Look, I think he's played 80 for most of the season thus far, but Alex Casey has been injured, so I'd expect to see Alex probably play at least the last 20 or 15.
Big import as well, Alex Casey coming across from the Magpies.
Yeah, look, he's been good in and around the group. Unfortunately, he hasn't played as much as he would have liked, but great to see him out this afternoon.
Cut out, finds Kent. Kent's on the left. He gets wrapped up by Fiddick. The Gallopers, they've got a bit of spring in their stride now. They're down by 3, through some space with Tuolima. Malua to the new man, Mossy Takiri. And that was a turnover that he shouldn't have had his hands on.
Jake Upfield looked to be on that then.
Yeah, big call here. What do? They go for the line out. They went for the line out before and turned it over. Or they take the 3.
We're down by 3. How long has it got? 2 minutes?
Iceman, what do you do?
Oh, mate, I love the kick, so I'd probably take the kick, to be honest with you. But, look, smarter heads than me out here.
You hear the chat in backfield, let's play the call.
Great kick there by AJ.
And we've had some successful driving mauls from both sides. And Takiri gets a good charge up. It was unfortunate. The second man comes in, and I think it throws the equation off there. And
great low chop there by Nongor again.
Oh, whatever niggle he had, he seems to have shaken it off. Bit of strapping on the right knee, and off he goes. Finals footy.
7-man line out here by Jeeps. I don't think this ball's going too far outside the sticks.
They're going to work it through the centre. There is another great run from Rosalia. That ball has been lost forward. And the pressure tackles from Bond are really destabilising this Jeeps attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the line speed that they've got there, it's where it's probably at its greatest on your own in goal. So would have probably liked to see them more for a little bit there to sit the Bond back on their heels.
Can you keep hide up for me? He's a new prop.
Great chop there from Ryan Menzies. As we see a couple of changes been happening now for Bond, with Devon Henson being replaced by Luke Patworth, and a change up front with George Blake replacing Egan Siggs up front.
Fresh cattle in the front row. Brian Anderson making his moves from the bench. Dylan throws it in. Sturdy scrum from Bond. Third. Back in the 22. Won't find touch. All he'll find is Bryce Hegarty in back play, who straightens up away from one. This is nice from the St George Queensland Reds. Outside back.
No halfback. Scotty Malew's caught in that ruck.
Alatimu finds Richards. Richards has some more big hits from this Bonds defence. Inside ball to Gorman. Met well by the new man, Papworth. Namo. He's got Richards with him. Angus Blythe's trying to hold him up. Big Angus Blythe. There's the call for the maul. Big Blythe's just got to hold on to him and seal this one up. And that is huge from the second rower.
Some more, boys.
Angus Blythe there showing his dominance and his experience.
You're going to have a really hard time trying to bring him down if you're the person running into him. Like that's it's a bit of a hard one running into the midst of big Angus Blythe.
It's tough. He's got some long levers.
Just holds on to them.
Here's your mark.
Another scrum here.
They're going quick on the feed here. Can you make sure it's straight, sir?
And that's a big effort from Angus Blythe. A rocketing career he has. Australian schoolboy, Australian 20s, playing for the St George Queensland Reds this year. A meteoric rise through the ranks, another pathway player in Southeast Queensland. Dylan goes left, third, out the back. Menzies will kick it this time off the left, and he's going to find some vacant lands.
Great kick.
And Hegarty will have to scoop it up inside the 22, and he's going to have to kick for exit. Huge net gain here for Bond, potentially. Bit of a wayward pass. Dylan's got the pressure on him. Tuolima manages to get him down for a second. Now there's a massive forwards coming in to try and steal this one. Huge from the Gallopers.
Nick Richards.
The new man on the wicket, just as you predicted.
Yeah, he's a great exponent at the breakdown there, Nick Richards. That's the value he brings to this side. Very quick on the ball and competes hard in every breakdown.
And it's a huge necessity to have at least one or two of those guys in your teams when you're in this arena here, because if you don't have it, you lose such a huge part of your attacking game.
Yeah, look, I think he brings a really good balance to this back row in particular. You've got Ratu Vio, who's a great ball runner, Michael Richards, who's industrious in his hard work, and Nick's obviously an exponent at the breakdown, so they balance and complement each other really, really well.
Sounds like the Richards boys just want Radu to do all the hard work. You're not going to say no. Namo. Shoots through, tall Dan Gorman, straight up the top, Malua. Timu. Great pass there from Ken. Hegarty.
Josh Collins.
Wide. Collins has got space. Collins is looking on the outside. Collins!
Excellent work from Fidock in the corner.
Great tackle.
Throws it back into the field. Hegarty chased it up. Now Malalua. He's looking for his options. The new man, Takiri.
He's isolated.
3 metres off. Nongor's in there. Wrists and all, trying to get the turnover, but he can't. Round the corner. Michael Richards gives it to Canelio.
Penalty out in front.
Alatimu flicks an inside ball to an unsuspecting John O'Kent. Now Vio picks it up, and that ball must be covered in soap. Hegarty throws the kick, but they'll bring it back for the penalty.
We've got to take the points here for mine. They've been down here. Really important to come away with some points.
Well, this will be, the third or fourth time they have been down.
Yeah, and had no outcome. So just reset, take the points, and get back down here.
Oh, it's only 2 points. 22, sorry. 25, 22.
There's some quick maths going on down there, and the Gallopers, they're backing in the scrum here, Christy.
Yeah, look, big call there. I would like to see him probably take the points and reset just because they haven't had an outcome in the last 2 opportunities, but Michael Richards is a smarter bloke than me.
Well, it's still just under 20 minutes remaining as well, so I think that's probably in the back of Richo's mind, but he's got time, and 7 is a lot more.
Great work to get that away, and great officiating there on the sideline by Pookie.
Collins backed himself there, but Fiddock in the corner.
Not often he gets caught. He's finally met his match.
I don't think he'll sit with it long, though. I think he'll probably want to have another go. So time is off, and this game, like we said, there's still 17 and a half minutes remaining in this game. That's a lot of footy to be played, and with only 3 points the difference, you know, you don't want to say I told you so at the end, but you seem pretty firm here that you should have taken. If you were down there, you'd want to take the 3.
Yeah, look, I think just particularly in finals footy, you know, scoreboard pressure is a powerful thing, and you know you've been behind for a while. Feels like they're chasing the game, get back to level pegging, and then take it from the kickoff.
Because I guess, Geordie, I think Bond wouldn't actually mind this too much because they've just shored up their scrum with some new players, so the set piece is nice. And defensively, they've been pretty good inside the 22 for the last 20 minutes.
No doubt, I wouldn't be too disappointed with a couple of new fresh faces in the scrum. I reckon we'd back ourselves here.
And it looks like we might be seeing a replacement actually for Molly Num. It looks like Alex Casey's
It's 25-22.
doing some stretching on the side, so some more movement on the bench.
Did you do a shoulder at the start?
I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, no, yeah, tough shift. Shoot, all right,
Here's your mark.
100%. You haven't even broken the sweat. Let's go, I need you.
Good to see Dan Gorman and Damon Murphy.
Yeah, they're normally arguing when they're on the field.
Yeah, I know. It's
when they play against each other.
Yeah.
What's that angle already, Jethro?
I think Dangle was actually saying something nice about him, which was even more.
And Damon was
I think he's just trying to get on his good side.
Tough spot to defend here for Bond. 5 metres out, centre field.
Malua.
Need an outcome here, Jeeps.
Another team move inside ball to Canelio. Read him like a book. Now Mount Lua looks at left. Here's Vio. Vio head down. Burrow still. Vio is in.
Giving it. Just what the doctor ordered.
Freight train. Choo choo. All the way in. Ruck to Vio.
Just look at the width that he gets here off Scotty Maulua. I think Jeeps have been a little bit guilty of playing too narrow. Hence they haven't got the outcomes that they would have liked. But Ratu on that big arcing run got on the outside of those defenders, got to a weak shoulder and was good enough to get over.
It's a tough kick there for poor Joey Fiddock, one-on-one with Vio.
Well, it wasn't just one-on-one. I think he actually split the gap between two of them, got his head into the space, and he plows right through. Vio comes through.
Nice direct starter here, really, really well done.
Hits it through.
Just look the width that Ratu gets here. Outside the third defender,
Couple
outside
wingers.
shoulder.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you need.
He just got just that little bit lower and just engaged those big tree trunks to start powering him towards that line, and I don't think you were going to stop him.
No.
Not when the combined weight of the three blokes in front of him isn't even the same.
Theo's got the same width as two of them.
Yeah.
Big kick here by AJ. Puts him out more than the penalty. Just missed it.
Oh, the team goes to the left. And we talk about some of these stats for the side now. Bond have got a whole landscape of things that they've done well this season. They're top of the table for. Jeeps, not so much. They're on paper, they're nothing amazing. But I think, Tommy, they're grinders. And they've got just a lot of fuel in the tank. And these guys, it might not be pretty at times, but they're getting it done.
Yeah, definitely. Look, probably not the most flashiest team. You know what you're going to get when you come up against the Jeep side, but it's just the capacity to stay in the fight and continue to compete.
Playing for 80 minutes.
Definitely, which they pride themselves on.
John Kent for the exit.
Great kick there by Jono.
And
they've got a really good opportunity here.
Well, they'll be happy. I think they'll be happy. Not maybe take the quick one here, get the set piece in, just try and get it on their terms.
Yeah.
Build some phases, retain some ball.
Geordie, where do you reckon they're going to go?
Centre field, find Menzies.
Oof, big call. Third. Menzies. Great call. There's Dylan on the left, third. Recycles it wide. Fleeting feet there from Fiddick. Canelio's trying to skull drag him to the side of the field. Dylan backdoors it through third, and a loopy pass to find upfield.
Bit scrappy here for Bond. It's going to reset.
Mormon gives good ball here to Dowd, and Dowd gets knocked down by Vio tackle coming in from the side. Turner, short ball, not the greatest of pass. It finds the hands of Nick Richards, who offloads it back through to Rosalio. Kicks it downtown. If that finds touch, that'll be a doozy of a kick, but
Vio kick. Yep.
Offloads it back. Ooh, hold on.
Good nudge there by Stowers.
Great kick.
I think Stowers jarred the knee a little bit on that kick. Something happened after the kick. Yeah, he's having with him a bit of hyperextension off that kick.
Or could be
cramping. He's done a bit of running today.
Stay there, goal, perfect.
Well, I guess that's the thing. You obviously, as a kicker yourself here, Tommy, are they sometimes the things to do? You go for that kick late in the game, and sometimes it'll just pinch or annoy something.
Yeah,
in the
just the old hammies, the old strings get a bit tight.
He's not as old as you.
Yeah, exactly. We'll call it experience, eh?
Yeah.
Not age.
So you just call it cramp now. Oh, the experience.
Alex Casey, first throw.
Here's Dylan. Cleans up a scrappy line out at the back. No halfback for the Bull Sharks. Dylan, Menzies in the middle, one off, has a good carry. Gallopers players are over the top. Advantage though.
20's fine, you got to roll away. Effectively clean out.
And the penalty going against Scott Malalua. Nick Richards was in there again.
Yeah, he was on the ball, slippery. As I said, he's a great exponent of the breakdown. But, Jeeps just need to get up off the ground after making a tackle. There's a lot of running left on this bond side, and they can't be dead bodies on the ground.
That's really been, I think, a characteristic of some of the top teams this comp. We're just seeing them. They have a real ability not to over-committed breakdowns, not to have players lazily hanging around, get them out. So if someone's got a genuine opportunity, you let them take it. If not, get in the defensive line to get ready for the next one.
Definitely.
That's a real change probably in the game in the last few years as well. We've seen that big direction, really designated 6s and 7s and letting them play their game.
Yeah, 100%.
Stay there, Blue.
Menzies again up the middle. Geordie.
You backing it in? Double or nothing?
I reckon I might play here.
You've got the winger just on the inside of Liam Dillon, back off the line out. Wouldn't be surprised if Turner comes around and plays.
Yeah, Dowd's floating there on the inside of third.
Inside.
Blythe in the middle takes it nice. Oh, but it's been spoiled. So now on the left-hand side, the new man, Alex Casey. They'll bring it back for the knock-on. So it'll be first scrum in a little while. And it'll be new look front row for Jeeps.
Yeah, look, really interesting to see how this front row packs down together. Obviously haven't played together as yet, but really important they get a good dominant scrum here to get some field position back.
Flashy green boots on Alex Casey too.
Yeah.
Looks quick.
11.
Looks going to be deceiving.
So this is old school stuff. No scoreboard, no time. They're relying solely on Damon Murphy and looks like Dan Gorman.
Malonga, Canelio. So Bernie Nickel, and there's a fray coming in at 13. And Jamie Rickward, massive engine coming in locking position.
Good line-out option too, Rickward.
Absolutely, he's dominated that 2 position throughout the season so far.
Dan Gorman still got the cafe?
No, he's out of the cafe business, Gourmet. You have to pay full price now, unfortunately.
At least you still get your free Macca's burgers.
Yeah. Great scrum.
Ball's down. Alatimi grabs it off his bootlaces. Kicks it downtown.
This is dangerous.
Ooh. Fumble from Dowd. Not knocked on though. The new man, Rickward, making his presence known. Scuttling across will be Nickel. Penalty against Bond. For Bond against Jeeves from the high. Then they throw the kick in out the back. And they'll bring it back. So these new players on the field for Jeeves, they're looking like they're coming out sprinting.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think on that kick there was right option by AJ, but for mine they've got a kick to contestables for this Bond back 3. They look dangerous every time they've had the ball, and unfortunately there for Jeeps have given away a penalty, which is marching down the field.
A few changes on Bond's side too there, Jordy. Looks like Eddie Alele's in as well, and it's going to start kind of re-bolster up that front row.
No doubt. When Eddie comes on, it's certainly going to make an influence. Plenty of experience there.
A former Rebels player, I believe he's got a couple of caps of Samoa as well.
I believe so, and he played for the Force back in the day, so plenty of experience.
Cross Blue. Across. Off the mark, across.
The winner.
Across. Huh?
No scrum penalty.
You played away.
So,
You played away.
the winner of this match will be heading on to face East. Same time, same place next week for the preliminary final. Whoever goes down, we'll be waiting until 2021 to strap up the boots once more.
Great pick up, Liam Dillon.
Third, out the back, finds Menzies. Menzies, he'll find the 22. Dillon gives it off to Deneen. Runs into traffic. Into the left. Nongor, a little bit isolated here. Players are going to have to get in and around him. Jumping over the top is the captain, Boardman. Dillon goes himself, splits the gap. Liam Dillon breaks the line. Dillon is in.
Dangerous Liam Dillon. He's such a great running game, and it's on show right there.
You give him an inch, he'll take a mile. He saw the space, used his quick thinking and his speed and plucks away under the sticks. Bond hit back, under 10 to go. Huge play.
Liam Dillon, what a sniping run off the side. Caught that defence napping and then just opened it up.
What is it?
As we've seen all day, incredibly smart footballer Dillon. As we check the replay out now, has a quick look, dummies and goes, too much speed under the post, leaves Scotty Malou for dead, and Liam Dillon gets the chocolates there.
Well, you saw they were so concentrated on the big, huge body of Angus Blythe potentially coming at them. They committed 2-3 players. Conversion from third, successful. Bond back in the lead. 32 points to 27 over Jeeps. Yeah, they just committed all their eggs into that basket, and Liam Dillon, he just sniffed that cap so quickly and broke through. And the back and forth of this game, 32 to 27, just on 7 minutes remaining. This is going to 80 minutes.
Important now for Bond to attain the kickoff and get out of their own territory.
Alatimu on the restart. Wobbly take, Tuolima underneath that manages to recover it off the restart. Casey, new man off the bench, busts through one, he'll be down. Alatimu, Hegarty saw some light, ran towards it.
Benny Nickel.
On the right, they're going to keep looking. Here's Takiri again. Good line from Tuolima. Read well, though, by Blythe. Penalty advantage.
Got to get some width here, Jeeps.
Good trot here from Rassolau. Gets through. They've got penalty advantage inside the 22. Crossfield kick. Alatimu puts it up. Fielded, though, by Dowd. Boys, points?
I think here now, I think they'll be looking to take the scrum because they'll need to score twice regardless. May as well try and do it in one.
Back it in. Good attacking position too, just inside that 22. They get a good roll on here.
Okay.
I think Bond will take as much time as they can to get to this one.
Yeah, still got release. Bring on the ground.
New configuration for both of these. Nongor's down in back play. I'm not sure if time has been paused. It looks like we're going to have another little break in play, and all the trainers stream on, get some water in. It's been a massive second half. The back and forth has been huge between these two sides, and just every time we think we're kind of getting a bit of a handle on the game, they just managed to kind of flip it back on ourselves, except for your calls for Menzies up the middle, Jordy. You seem to be on the money, Matt. You're going home with money in the back pocket.
Do my best, mate. Do my best. Very physical second half, as we've seen. End-to-end stuff.
And we talked about the grind that Jeeps have had this season, and they've managed to make it work. And with 7 minutes left, you've got to think, grinding will be a good thing to be good at when you're in this game right now. Like trying to really get yourself over the line, because tired bodies on both sides of the equation. We're seeing a few more errors coming, and then we're seeing spontaneous play off the back.
Yeah, if there's such a phrase, I guess, being good at grinding. Yeah, look, Chiefs have been in this position throughout the last couple of years. You know, think back to Uni a couple of years ago when they beat them on the buzzer at home, and then numerous games.
Well, then the following, I think Uni beat them in the major, and then Jeeps had to go back through the minor to get themselves into the grand final.
Exactly. So it's just really important that they stay composed and calm here. Just focus on their job at hand here and execute that as well as they possibly can. As we see Abeli Tuianisia coming on to the wing, it looks like.
Another heavy hitter out wide. And then Bond, Geordie, they're just going to have to try and keep the emotions a bit bottled here.
Exactly right. And as you see, Eddie Alehi comes on now at perfect timing at scrum time. He's a bit of a scrum doctor down on the Gold Coast, so massive experience to have at this stage of the game.
Big one, up, Dill.
Coach!
Jeeps, ball in hand, opting for the scrum. 15 metres out. Malua. Short arm going towards Jeeps.
Scrum. Blue ball.
They're going to pack it down.
Let's go, Eddie, let's go!
No. But I made it clear in the change rooms. I need you to hold your weight, okay? Hold your weight for me. Yep. Takes that away. Here's the mark. I'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep an eye on it. Here's your mark, boys.
Final 5 minutes of play. 5 points separating these teams as it stands right now. Bond is heading through to play East next week for the preliminary final. Jeeps, they're going to be looking for something to try and get themselves back into that winner's circle and get them into that preliminary final next week. New look scrum on both sides of the equation. Malua throws it in. Jeeps etching forward. Murphy, resets it. And this is time that Jeeps really don't have, boys.
Yeah, this is definitely playing into Bond's hands here.
Mate, how often do you see an outside centre like running into the middle of a scrum and giving taps all around?
Or advice.
Yeah.
Forward, if you want to get the water.
Just keep going. Forward.
Here's your mark.
Oh, man. Game hanging on knife's edge between these two sides. There's good crowd making it out to Ballymore today. Obviously, different conditions for the punters to get out here at the moment with COVID. But it's great to see them making their way out. We hope they can join us in the coming 2 weeks of finals. Spiritual home for rugby here.
Definitely.
Malua puts it in, doesn't waste time, finds the new men. Atunisa on the left, Vio. Advantage going against Mitch Third, offside. Jeeps in the driver's seat, ploughing their way forward. Malua
No one got advantage.
wants to run this one as far as he can. Left-hand side, here's Nickel.
Advantage for 10 offside.
Nickel still going, beats one.
Great leg drive.
Now Malua, short ball to Vio. He gets met hard. This Bond defence sizing it up. Wide ball, finds Casey. Casey has the ball stripped, but they'll bring it back for the penalty.
Mark, Geordie.
Malua's got to move quick here.
Front of the sticks, 7 out.
I don't think they probably. You think they're going to go the quick tap?
Probably not now. I think they'll probably go to scrum if they had quick ball potentially.
Offside.
3 minutes remaining.
10 gold offside. Hold. This is the mark.
Go the line.
Got it.
Go the line.
Going the line.
Back in their rolling maul here.
Mark's here. No. Scrum.
Quick change of heart there.
I think, yeah. Don't know what Michael's thinking there. Right in front of the sticks, you've got to go middle of the field.
But it's
really
final.
hard to defend.
Finals rugby though.
Absolutely.
And like we talked about, you look at the kicking. Eli Pills, Rowan Seifert, they were our two best kickers for the entire season. But then we get to the pointy end of the season when stuff really matters, and these guys, these Mavericks, pressure, it affects people in different ways. And I think this is when you really see who are the leaders and who are not. Big call from Michael Richards, packs this scrum down. Just over 2 minutes remaining. One team heading through to the preliminary final next week. One team, I'll be watching from the sidelines. Boys, you're awfully quiet.
Come off.
Yeah, a bit nervous.
Can't be standing up, okay? Sorry, time's off.
Time is off while they...
Let's go, boys.
We've just been updated. 1 minute of time remaining. So, all or nothing, it comes down to it. The finals campaign will be extinguished in the coming minute. One will keep burning for at least another week. 2020, it's been a big year for both of these sides, and that's scrum. Short arm, Malua.
Played.
Short, Vio! Held up.
Don't know if they got quite back 10 there.
They have to be offside to make that tackle.
Huh?
They're not all offside.
It's fine.
That's a try. Jordan. That's short arm offside.
Yeah.
You hear the call from Murphy. They made it back.
Stop.
It's big from both sides of the equation. What do they do? Time is running out.
Nick Turner's down the
There it
backfield
is. So, one more roll of the dice here.
Jeez.
For Jeeps. Oh, if you're going to pick someone to get over, it's the man looking for his third. Vio was right there. Nick Richards. Send him to Broadway. He was trying to sell that thing.
For the Toyota, what a feeling. Look at him get up here. This will be the angle.
Despite the angle that everyone wants to.
Oh.
Dylan Rowe
It's
underneath.
hard to give that, isn't it?
Tough to call.
Need the hot spot.
Crack cam. Here we go. There's the crowd. Getting stuck in. Malalua. We're going to pack this one down again. I feel like I'm calling this one on my own, boys.
Nervous times, Marty. Nervous times.
Hey, I'm fully appreciative of that. Hard here, and I guess the backs just have to sit and watch. They're at the complete mercy of the forwards at the moment. And they're packed down for, I believe, this is probably the 5th rendition of this scrum. Will, the trusty sword of the Gallopers, manage to get the job done once more? Or will the new kids on the block, Bond, get a big win and move further into the final series? Malalua throws it in.
Here it comes.
They're nudging forward. Here they go. Trotting their way forward. Vio. Malua's had enough. Throws it out to the right. Hegarty once more. The big man. Atunisa goes through.
Stowers with the try-saver.
It's still got advantage back at the scrum.
They're going to have to go down to the referees to see what's happening.
So, no try. Penalty back.
Oh, wow.
Rian Stowers, 1-on-1. Look at the weight difference here.
Earned his key.
Great chop.
Oh, huge follow-up. Also by Menzies.
Just that.
Menzies was the real breadwinner there.
That right knee. But we'll come back for the penalty.
Pushing straight.
How many?
That's one.
There's been a few throughout the game.
You've also had a few against you as well.
Very diplomatic there.
Let's go.
Not a chance.
Asking the question, it wasn't till probably a couple of years ago that Michael Richards had to step up in his captain's role, and how he's flourished as a leader in this side. Wasn't very outspoken at the beginning, but now you know he's there.
Yeah, quite as a church mouse to start with, Michael. He's pretty uncompromising, but he's really grown into that role. He's got a great voice and presence around the group.
I'm going to keep ploughing into this, and it looks like Stowers is getting treatment on the far side. We saw some cramping about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and now that we're moving well into probably the 83rd, 84th minute of play.
Looks like the Argentinian Tomas Grennan is coming on to replace Stowers.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You talked about the size differential there, Geordie, on that far wing. Billy Atunisa, he is not small, and he's a guy that's 5th in the competition with 93 carries. And he's beaten 18 defenders as well. Like he is a big human to stop, and that is a David and Goliath effort to do that. I just hope it hasn't come at a greater cost. He looks like he's up at the moment, which is good to see. And it looks like we're going to be dialing it back to that scrum time. And
looks like he's going to play on Stowers. He's not missing this moment.
And how many do you think Damon will give them before he might?
I think he's had a couple there to Michael just before, but yeah, look, there's going to be a huge amount of pressure here. Bond really have to step up.
This is the inverse of the situations you get in when you're kicking for grand finals. And it's not very nice when you're on the other side of the occasion, is it?
No, it sucks.
In the hands of somebody else.
Yeah, being up here having no influence, it's pretty tough to swallow.
Your influence being screaming from the sideline?
Yep.
Yeah. Every voice helps. Scrum time once more. Malalua puts it in.
Here he goes.
Here's the march. Advantage once more. Vio at the back. Malalu has had enough. Wobbly pass to Aotimu. Floats it out wide. Collins stays in. Collins. He's out.
Scrum again.
Back to the middle. Second penalty advantage in the middle of the field. And Michael Richards is going to be asking the question, when is enough enough?
Right side collapsing.
The atmosphere is unbelievable here at Ballymore. Everyone's up on their feet. Another scrum.
Even my hands are sweaty, boys. Huge scrum once more, and you got to wonder, should Malalu have left it in there maybe for a few more paces, let them go forward?
Look, I think it was in the process of spitting out there, so Scotty did his very best, but gee whiz.
Joshy Collins tiptoeing along that line, and good vision from Nickel.
If the ball does come here, it's really important that Jeeps play nice and straight, give the forward something to hit and play close to the post, because
it's pretty poetic that it's coming down to a scrum for Jeeps.
Yeah, we obviously want the conversion relatively close to the post, not from touch.
Oh, there's a kick to come too.
Absolutely.
Oh. Another big scrum. This one not clean.
Whoa! Bond.
Huge conclusion. Bond, turn it around.
What a scrum to finish.
Huge result at the very depths. 2, 3 back-to-back scrum penalties. They managed to turn it around at the last second. And the Bond Bull Sharks, what a ridiculous result. And the captain, Boardman, will dink it into touch. And Bond are through to their first preliminary final ever. What a match, gents.
What a game.
Incredible scenes. I can't believe what I've just witnessed. The last scrum there, Eddie Aleje stands up, delivers for the Bull Sharks.
Well, it was really big too, because that Bond front row, out of everyone out there on that field, they had the most pressure metaphorically and physically on their shoulders to stand up and get the job done. And they did it. They're seeing East next week in the preliminary final. Tom Christie. Mate, that's finals footy.
It is. Unfortunately on the wrong side of the ledger today, but congratulations to Bond. Isn't it great to see a club that's missed out for so many years come in and put in a performance like that? They'll have a lot of excitement in this week coming up, so you'd like to think that they can harvest that and then put in another good performance next week.
And we've already talked, pre-season can't be too far away for these teams, but if we talk about the players on the pitch today, for the match day 23 for Jeeps, who was the standout player for you today that really kept them in the run?
Yeah, look, I thought Ratu Viao at number 8 was exceptional. He carried extremely well, was industrious in defence as well, and was held up over the line there right at the end. So for mine, he was a pick.
And Geordie, mate, I guess that bus ride home is going to be pretty good tonight for the Bond boys, but for you, there was so many great performers across that field for the Bull Sharks. Who do you think the standout for you was?
As we saw, was one of the forwards today. For me, it was the South African Devin Henson. He just kept going, hitting pilfers. So he really showed his weight today, and a massive result for the Bull Sharks, and we'll be back next week.
And we look at what's happening next week, gents, and we look at the style of attack. We got East, who are their serial kickers. They love to kick, not much passing, menaces at the breakdown. Set piece is pretty good as well. It's a pretty tidy package, and we'd expect that from the minor premiers. We look at the battle that Bond are going to have next week. How do you see them countering? Do you think they're going to follow a similar pattern to maybe what Uni did yesterday and maybe take a few notes, or do you think that Grant Anderson might be looking at it a little bit differently?
I'm sure Anderson will have a few tricks up his sleeve for this week. We know we beat East early in the year, so we'll back ourselves to get it done again. And with the attacking flair now, the scrum that seems to be working well, we'll see how we go.
And Bond, Christie, it's a big win for them, and I guess you guys coming from a place where I think it was 22 years between premierships for you guys back in 2017. 18. No, but you did play in 17.
Yeah, grand final 17.
Got into the grand final 17, but you're up there, up in contention for it. It's a huge feeling, isn't it, when you do break those drought, but for these guys to manage to break in for the first time to this level of the competition, that's a pretty amazing achievement.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's great to see, as I said just before, a club that's probably struggled over the last couple of years, really come to the fore and strengthen their program. Their Colts program's been really good over the last couple of years, and that's starting to show its merits in the top grades now. So, look, a massive week for the Coast coming up, so really excited to see how they go.
I think we look at the health of this competition across the board, really coming into this back end. You could say there were five solid teams that all could have had a genuine shake at this final series. And we've seen today, these two teams they left nothing out there. There were some pretty broken and fractured bodies going through. So I think it speaks a lot about also how great it is to see a new team getting up into the finals proceedings.
Yeah, definitely. Look, it's sort of breaks the mould of the traditional clubs that are featuring the last sort of 2 weeks of the final series.
No brothers, no jeeps.
No brothers, no jeeps, and it's literally anyone's for the taking. So I guess that's the excitement of the short season that we have, and we'll wait and see what the next 2 weeks
and Jordan, we look at the Bond team in essence. When you look at them in comparison to say some of the bigger clubs, especially like Jeeps, it's not as big a club as well. So that must mean that the amount of work that goes in behind the scenes, especially being relatively new kids on the block, this has got to be super gratifying.
This is huge. As you can see, the pictures on screen now. The Bond University boys, they work so hard for this. The university pours so much into this program, so it's a great result for the boys, and we're not done yet.
So we look at the team going forward in next week. I know that Pritchard wasn't available today. Is he going to be available next week potentially?
So he's back next week. We need the boys to win today, and they got the done. So Connor Pritchard, massive in for next week.
Do you see him getting back to starting honours over the team that started today? Because you've got to be honest, that starting team today, they did a pretty good job.
Phenomenal team, yes, but I think Pritchard will come back in. His presence over the ball is huge.
And we look across the halves, you can't really doubt the halves of Liam Dillon and Mitch Third. I think both of them in their own right. Tommy, they were slicing up all day and they were heads up pretty hard.
Yeah, look, Liam Dillon, obviously a game changer there. Game changer with his try there at the end.
That's a new one to see at Ballymore.
Yeah, absolutely. His running game, but also his passing game that he has, is a real concern for opposition defences. So he'll beat with the pass, but then obviously with his speed off the back of a ruck, it's just another dimension.
And this is a guy, though, in the last couple of years, whenever Moses Sorovi was not at West, he was getting the starting. He was playing second fiddle there. So it's a huge move for him. You've played against him on numerous occasions. To see someone like that make a successful move down to Bond, that's got to be a pretty cool thing to see.
Yeah, it's really good to see a bloke with his ability. Like, it was well noted last year, had a good year at West, making the NRC sides, and I think he was travelling from the Gold Coast, so it probably made that move a bit easier for him.
Well, we're going to shoot it down now to the sideline. Queensland Rugby's Tom Mitchell. He is with Jeeps captain Michael Richards.
Thanks, gents. I'm here with the skip, Rico, mate. It's a grandstand finish there in the end, but mate, just a heartbreaking result. I thought you boys had that there with those repeated scrums, mate.
Yeah, pretty disappointing. Just said to the group there, we can sort of be proud of our effort. We probably didn't execute the way we needed to. When you play semi-final football, you get to this time of year, you need to execute, and we didn't do that today. So it wasn't through lack of effort, it was just through probably not executing as well as what we could have.
The boys up in the comms box were saying, it's been a big sort of grind for Jeeps this year. It was a grind in this game again today, mate, but just, I guess, too little too late in the end?
Yeah, we shouldn't have left ourselves in that position that we needed to score after full time. So we had opportunities there. We were in front. We should have taken advantage of that and then consolidated on that. But unfortunately, we let them back into the game, and it was down to that execution. We just failed to execute today. But like I said, no lack of effort.
Mate, it's been a year like no other with COVID. You must be extremely proud of the lads, mate, for this season and what they've all put in.
Yeah, in many ways, it's been a bit of a tiring season. During the COVID break, we were sort of didn't know what was happening, so most of the guys were keeping their training up. But really proud of the boys. They've never complained or given up. They've just kept working week in, week out, and it was a great effort to get into the semi-finals. Probably should have taken our opportunity there, but super proud of all the boys and their effort.
No worries, mate. Will you go enjoy a couple of beers with the boys tonight?
Cheers.
Yeah? Thanks, Rico. Tama.
Mitchell down there with Jeeps captain Michael Richards and Tommy. I think you can just see the emotion there and Mick's face. He's probably one of the just bleeds green and blue for the club.
Yeah, he does. Look, obviously massively disappointing to bear out the way they did, and I guess with the calibre of players that came back, they were pretty hopeful in progressing throughout this final series. But as I said, it's the first time that this team had played together, and there was a few clunky moments there for them, and that Bond side playing together for most of the year were really, really good.
They were smooth, and that's the thing. Imagine if we had, obviously, COVID was a real monster, we didn't know, but imagine if we managed to just get a few more rounds in and a bit more time with those boys on the deck. It probably could have shaped up to be something pretty. Yeah,
it could have, but full credit to Bond. They've been really, really good throughout the year, come leaps and bounds in their program, and it's great to see them in the semi-final.
Well, we're going to head back down to the sideline, and Tommy Mitchell has got the winning captain from Bond University, Dan Boardman.
Yes, I do indeed. I've got the winning skipper, mate. We were just saying before, what about that finish? Grandstand finish, scrum penalty after scrum penalty, but then it was you boys who then got that penalty to win it, mate. How good?
Yeah, outstanding. I think our forwards were extremely dominant throughout the day, and then Jeeps came back and it was a really good battle. We spoke about being physical and up front. We knew they were going to come with everything, and we thought we held quite well, and then they got a bit dominant. So, yeah, wow, our forwards did an incredible job and put us on the front foot for our backs. So.
Just the resolve and the fight back from the boys in the first half there. Jeeps raced out to an early lead. You guys came back. You scored back-to-back tries in that second half to kick it off, mate. There's just this never-say-die attitude with Bond. You just dare to believe, don't you?
That's it, yeah. We love to play expansive footy, and I think we knew that Jeeps only threw so much at us, and they're a quality team, so full credit to them. But yeah, we knew that if we could play wide and kind of get out of that breakdown, we knew we could score some tries. So I think that wind helped us in the second half as well. Coming into the half, we knew that we could still keep playing footy, so trying to be disciplined and play down there was our goal for sure.
Mate, through to the prelim final, same time, same place here against East next week, mate. How do you see that game playing out?
Same, very similar. Dominant forward pack. Their backs are sharp, and they've got some strike weapons out wide. So we'll review them hard, and we beat them earlier on in the season, but I think that doesn't matter anymore. So yeah, the team who plays the best on the day will win. So another huge game next week. We'll recover and be ready for that one, no doubt.
First final series, first prelim final, mate, here is to a maiden GF for the Bond University Bull Sharks in a couple of weeks' time, mate.
Mate, that's our goal. We'll try and do training session by session and then game by game. But that's our goal. We didn't come here to make numbers, and I think there's that massive belief over this harsh time for everyone has really pulled us closer, and yeah, we're buzzing after this.
Oh, good stuff, mate. You soak it up tonight, yeah?
Yeah, we will. Thank you. We'll recover and be better next week.
Great stuff, Dan.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
mate.
you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Up to you, gents.
Thanks, Tommy Mitchell. Great work down on the sideline, mate. Huge day here. Tommy Christie, Jordan Hughes. What a huge result. That was on a knife's edge for 10 minutes at least.
As we saw all day, the momentum shift from end to end, both sides, hell of a game, and then it came down to a couple of tough calls really at the scrum time, and we're just thankful we got the chocolates today.
And I think as we watch the replay here of these tries that came through, that first one there, we thought it was going to be like that all day, and the Gallopers, they were just up for the challenge early, but Bond, they really bounced back, and I think Bond are going to be really looking forward to what happens next week. Uncharted territory for them. For the Gallopers, though, Tommy, this is the end of the season for 2020. It's been a bit of a disrupted season, but I guess now the focus will be on to next year.
Yeah, look, I think immediately the focus will be on getting around and supporting our fourth grade remaining teams in the finals. It's a good club like that. Whilst it's really disappointing that we've missed out in the top grades this year, it certainly gives us now an opportunity to reflect and look where we can maybe make up a bit of ground for season 2021.
Feel the fire for 2021.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. And Geordie, mate, what a week ahead for the Bond Bull Sharks into the preliminary final against the minor premiers, East. And, you know, the East, they're coming off a hard loss yesterday. They're going to be stinging. You guys coming in off the win. How do you think it's going to play out in a week's time?
Yeah, it's going to be fight. I was not happy yesterday against UQ, but the boys know we can do it now. We know we can play finals footy and win. So we'll have a good week, and we'll have them firing ready to go come next Sunday.
Tom Christie, Jordan Hughes. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. And an absolutely nerve-wracking match. And for everyone at home, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're going to be back same time, same place next week. Preliminary final, East up against Bond. Make sure if you're not here, you're watching it live. I'm Martin Lippiett. See you next time.